Okay, so we want to go a little bit into faster and slower than the speed of light. This is something that's been coming to us very recently, and it feels very important to expound on. So when we are looking at the Akashic records, Akash meaning ether, and they are records of light packets, light codes, information, of all that we would have said could happen, will happen, has happened. However, as we are coming into this greater understanding of being in the presence, if I am present and this is now and we release time, then we wouldn't be looking at any of these events as records. We would be evolving into the quantum stellar being that we are, that is going from moment to moment to moment. In order to be in the presence, you have to be present. In order to be in the presence, you have to be in love at the heart. The heart center has to be the center point, the 0 point, the balancing point that you are stellarly steady at. In that, there is an opportunity that we can see, what we call 0 point neutrality, where everything slows down, and sometimes you'll even feel like you're not breathing and you're just witnessing at that 0 point. And the brain even slows down at epsilon to 0 hertz, but it's actually fully illuminated, the brain, at 0 hertz. Let's say frequency, upgrading that word. So that would be slower than the speed of light. And faster than speed of light would be lambda of the brain waves, where it goes from 100 to 200 frequency hertz. And at the heart, it would go to that hyper gamma, where we are able to instantly shift ourselves from one location to another. When we come out of travel and come out of location and we go to non-location, and we're teleporting at the heart, and we're coming to the realization that what we see in front of us when we open our eyes is there, and we close our eyes and we have a new destination of frequency that we want to arrive at. Let's say the scene changing from someone wearing a purple shirt to a green shirt. We close our eyes, we know that they're going to be wearing a green shirt. We open our eyes and we print the plasma light particles into the hologram, and it's now a green shirt. We keep evolving even more, and we would have called this quantum tunneling, where we go on a drive, we don't know how we got there, or we jump time where a so-called location is 3 hours away, but you get there in 30 minutes because you're in joy. Or you get from one room to the next, but you don't really remember walking there. We would have called that quantum tunneling. However, as we're coming into this realization that we're not actually going anywhere, but that we're printing the frequency of light in different arrangements, those plasma particles are magnetically lining up from the sum total thoughts of belief, and then the feeling vibrates the structure to look a certain way. We will, teleport in a way that we're in our house, and then the next moment we're in, another scene altogether. That would be faster than the speed of light. Or a, epsilon 0, where you decelerate the particles and then you lambda accelerate the particles super fast for a quantum jump or a shift. So when we're looking at the Akashic records from the past research, and we look at the simulation of duality, where, and then there was light, and from the word, this light is being seen in a certain way from the program of a word, of a thought. When we are able to remember our eternal nature as a soul, remember our eternal nature as space, as consciousness, even beyond the soul, as spirit, as the Holy Spirit, we again are coming out of just knowing ourselves to be light. So if I am knowing myself to be something beyond light, then I would then therefore be beyond matter, and I would be space, and I would be the Holy Spirit. I would be pure consciousness, pure awareness, omnipresent. So what is coming to me in my awareness, and several others that I've heard recently in the past few strongs, is that we are coming into the realization and the remembrance of being faster than the speed of light. And that is your quantum ability to really come into the next levels of bilocation, omnipresence, teleportation, transfiguration, levitation. And it is here in this space of love, of presence, of neutrality, that we will actually begin to witness these seemingly miraculous but very natural quantum jumping skills that even in this so-called day, I've witnessed, my reflection that I would call a daughter do mastery with this topic. So we just wanted to add that in and have you really contemplate that and meditate on being faster than the speed of light, faster than the simulation of duality. For there is the Nagavad Gita talks about the fall from grace and the fall from the most high, the most heavenly, beyond existence realm, where we drop into these lower realities, where this lower so-called copy of that perfected existence of heaven is a duplicate, but it's slowed down and it's got a program of light to it. It's got a program of duality. It's got a program that has been, for whatever stories we've been listening to, fear programmed. And in the fear program, there's no room for the heart. It's a rising opportunity for all of us to forgive ourselves for ever buying into the duality and buying into the fear programming, and seeing where our hand is in it all, seeing where our hand is in any addictions to drama, addictions to victimhood, to not having things work out for you, addictions to feeling love that has a program set to, well, if I, have a poor me, then, and something of my past programming had me receive love by being in the victim mode, then I'm just going to keep going with that. So there's a great call to action to acknowledge where you're living from victimhood, from fear, and know that that is slower than light, but it is working with light and shadow. So as you can call those out and do those Akashic record cleanups and forgiveness, forgive yourself for being in that state, maybe keeping it going, keeping that simulation going, staying asleep to it, unconscious to it, and choosing to find your hand in everything going on around you that you would want to change. Why are you creating it that way? How can you now upgrade it? Forgive yourself, forgive all others, thank the others for showing up to show you something that still exists in your mind. If there are still seeds that have been sown in your mind that are creating that projection of reality, then it's time for you to call upon your higher self to illuminate the wholeness of your brain and heart, to work in coherence and upgrade, reprogram with new seeds of love. New seeds of love that are faster and slower than the speed of light, so that we rise out of the simulation of duality and into neutrality and into the highest realms, where I am in this possible world for a little bit, but I am not of this world. My head is in the clouds in heaven. And if I am in this world, in this avatar mode of the star consciousness that I am, my feet are on the ground bringing heaven to earth. Forgive me for forgetting, O Goddess. Let me come back into your silvery spring and remember. We are love light remembered, and we are coming home to this now.